Live from the Quad Cities with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, preparing for an active spring and summer with 5 important food groups. Our Hy-Vee dietitian will join us with what she recommends for a healthy diet.
Take part in creating a more sustainable environment. We'll learn about the impact you can make by purchasing a rain barrel from River Action.
And creating an environment for kids to learn and grow while participating in hands-on activities. Eastern Iowa Community Colleges will share more about summer camp opportunities as registration is now underway. Welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Wednesday, March 26th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier alongside my co-host Kyle Keel. It is spring right now, and before we know it, it'll be summer. And as the weather improves, we are becoming more active.
Yes, but are you fueling properly? Hy-Vee registered dietitian Caitlin Milligan is joining us now in the QCL kitchen, and she is sharing with us her starting 5, or the 5 food groups that she recommends for that healthy diet. And Caitlin, of course, welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. So yes, we're talking about the March Madness theme here. So each one, the March Madness theme. So first, we're gonna dunk it.
Yeah, dunk it with dairy.
Yes.
Okay.
So dairy is very important for your bone health.
Yes.
And when it's coupled with vitamin D, it's even better. And so, and then along with that, it has protein. So it's a good 3-point play.
Okay, so dairy, very important. Roughly how much dairy do we need to be eating or drinking in a day? Like, I know a lot of people don't like, regular milk, but there are other options, and you brought them here.
Yeah, about 3 servings a day is recommended.
Okay.
So it's either like a cup of milk, a cup of yogurt, or a slice of cheese.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so the next one we have, you mentioned protein. You want to play it with protein.
Yep. And so whether you're doing a strenuous basketball game or just a regular day in your office, you still need your protein. And so there's different variations of protein that you can get, fish, chicken, and then from plant-based sources as well.
Sure.
And like, for instance, if you have beans and then you pair it with rice, that would be a complete protein.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and then there's some other options here as well. Are these proteins or are these the next one?
Yeah, they're kind of a mix.
Okay.
Because some,
some
oatmeal.
Crossover.
Yes,
we love
which is always nice. But yeah, the Kodiak cakes I like because it's easy thing to take to work, but there's lots of nutrients and some extra protein.
Well, and if you're not already sensing the theme here today, the next one on the list that Caitlin has provided us is guard your grains.
Yes.
So
very easy to remember these.
Yes, it just does make it a lot easier to cover all 5 of these food groups. So guard your grains. And you brought plenty of options here.
Yes. So I brought quinoa, farro, and then oatmeals along there too. And the thing that I like about quinoa is it's a complete protein as well. And so even though it's a plant-based, so it kind of goes with this one as well.
Okay.
And then if you are gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant, the Canyon baked bread is a great option for you. And it will be able to give you fiber, which you need to lower your cholesterol and for digestion.
Okay.
And there are a lot of options for people who are gluten-free as well.
Gluten-free.
Yeah.
And this is a popular one.
Definitely. And yeah, the Hy-Vee gluten-free aisle has lots of different options, and this was just one of the types of breads. So there's, if you want like honey wheat, there's that too.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
All right, well, if you're not much of a player but more of a fan, the fans go wild for fruit.
Oh, yeah.
We love fruit.
They do.
Yes. So I always tell people, have you ate your rainbow today?
I have not.
Or your week? Because that's an easy way to just think about, did I get something red? Did I get something green?
Sure.
And it can kind of help with getting a variety of nutrients in your day.
Okay.
And so, yeah, different options are always available. But if you like something more on the go, That's It bars are a great option too, and they're only made with 2 ingredients, apples and mangoes.
I've never seen these
I haven't
before.
either. You know what? At first when I saw it, I thought it was like a drink mixture, but these are actually like little bars. Yeah, I didn't read into it.
They're tasty.
Yeah.
Apples and mangoes.
I've definitely been snacking on them.
60 calories per bar too, so that's like just an easy snack to bring. And this can also really help with like a sweet tooth as well. I mean, we are certainly not talking about weight loss or anything like that by any means right now, but a lot of people are looking for that thing that's going to curve the sweet tooth a little bit, and fruit can be really good for that.
Oh yes, always a great option.
Wonderful.
All right, now we want to do the fruit. We got the fruits. We want to do a vegetable victory. We want to round out the top 5 here. So got to make sure we get our fruits in there as well.
I'm a veggies gal, so
had some for lunch.
Yeah, it's recommended to have about 5 different combinations of fruit and vegetables each day.
Wow. Okay. I'm not hitting that. I'm gonna go ahead and admit.
I'm trying. So here, what you have for us is a garden veggie quinoa bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like these because you can include all different types of vegetables, you know, or maybe at the end of the week you use up all your rest of your vegetables you have in your fridge. And red quinoa is, again, quality protein, quality grain, and then it provides more antioxidants than even the white quinoa.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah.
It does.
And maybe a little extra sauce might help with it even more, like an aioli or something like that.
Well, yeah, and we have the ingredients all listed on the screen, so if you're curious about what's in that bowl, everything is listed there. And of course, we'll be sure to put this on our website as well for people who are curious, because this is a really great option. And wow, you talk about the rainbow.
I was just going to say that.
You're getting the rainbow
there
in
you
there.
Go, yeah.
For sure. Very cool.
Yeah, between the fruits, vegetables, you always bring a very colorful selection here. So if you're ready to execute your new game day strategy, you don't want to forget about Hy-Vee's registered dietitians that can offer expert guidance and personalized nutrition for yourself. So if you want to learn more, or if you want to schedule a complimentary discovery session, you can go to hyvee.com/health/new/dietitians. Caitlin, as always, thank you for joining us.
Great job.
Showing us the rainbow today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yes, and still to come on Quad Cities Live, learn to take advantage of our rainy season by investing in rain barrels. River Action will show us how they work next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Now that it is officially spring and the weather is gradually getting warmer, many of us are beginning to think of our outdoor lawn and garden projects.
That's right. Our own Jake Eastburn is joining us live now from the Green Thumbers in Davenport. And Jake, the experts are always on hand there, really year-round, to help us throughout any season.
They sure are. The experts here can help you with all your lawn and garden questions. It's a little slice of heaven in here for me. Flowers, everything set up so beautifully. And if you really want a green yard this year, there are certain steps that you need to start doing soon. Joining me now is Josh Burkhalter. He's the general manager, here to walk us through some lawn fertilizers that is pretty vital to put down.
Absolutely. So generally, the first question is, when do you want to put this down? We're about 10 days from having prime ground temperature results. So in about 10 days, we have 4 steps. We're going to start with our spring application.
They make it easy here. There are steps.
So we have 2 different sizes for 2 different size yards. You got your 5,000 square feet. It's going to be most of your city yards. Then you start getting out into your bigger properties. You're going to look at the bigger bag. But this is step 1. This is a crabgrass preventer plus fertilizer. So the crabgrass preventer, and it's not just crabgrass that it's preventing. So any annual weeds that were growing last year that don't come back by root leave seeds behind, and they're going to come back by the seeds will germinate. This stuff here is going to actually go in and it's going to kill any of the seeds that are still laying dormant in the yard.
And it's important, though, to note that if you're planting grass seed, though, this is not the one to put down.
That is absolutely correct. So if you're planting new grass seed in some bare areas, do not apply a crabgrass preventer on it. You want to apply a new lawn starter fertilizer, and that's going to help your roots of the new seed take off and really fill in and give you that prime, nice, lush lawn.
And these steps for fertilizer, how much time in between that we do between treatments?
So generally, once you put down your crabgrass preventer plus fertilizer, about 6 weeks to the next step, and that kind of follows in suit with the next 3-step and 4-step.
Okay. And then now some lawns are different. Some typically you do all 4 steps in a row, but sometimes you can go out of order or repeat a step.
Yes, absolutely. So, for instance, step 2 is going to be a weed and feed or a weed out. So that's going to kill like your dandelion growth or any of your broadleafs that the seeds that aren't coming up from seed that may be blowing in from the neighbor's yard. And
those darn neighbors.
So step 2 is going to be your weed and feed, and a lot of times people put that down 6 weeks after the crabgrass preventer, but they may do a second application of step 2 6 weeks after they put step 2 down. rather than do just a straight lawn fertilizer, which is just adding iron to the lawn to really green it up. If you're having weed problems, step 2 is also a good step 3 as well.
And then this is something that we do need to do annually.
Absolutely. A good healthy grass is going to prevent weed growth. So the healthier you can keep your turf, the better it looks, and the lot less weeds you're going to have.
Well, Josh happens to also be a tree expert, and coming up in our second half hour, we're going to do a in-depth lesson on trees that he's hand-selected from out of state. He spends the winter months doing that, and so you're going to showcase some of your prized possessions for us and give us some good tree knowledge in the next half hour. So we're looking forward to that. For now, at the Green Thumbers in Davenport, I'm Jake Eastburn for Quad Cities Live.
All right, Jake, thank you so much. And as we experience rain and storms this spring, keep conservation and sustainability in mind. Purchasing a rain barrel from River Action allows you to reduce runoff, intercepting rain before it hits the ground, then polluting our sewers with harmful chemicals. Here to talk more about that impact is Kathy Wine, Executive Director of River Action. Kathy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. This is a great topic for today. You know, it is the end of March, almost April. We know we've got rain pretty much every day in the forecast for the next week. But before we get to these guys here, these rain barrels, give us a little bit of background on River Action. You are actually one of the original co-founders of River Action.
That's right.
Back in the 80s. Talk a little bit about the mission and just the work you've been able to do over these years.
Well, we started with the idea that everyone needed better access to the river and a better watershed access. And so to do that, we did Ride the River, and we had 5,000 people show up at the first one, and we thought we're on to something. So we started River Action, Ride the River, and all of the activities that we do now.
Yeah.
But with the idea that with a lot of collaborators, we can do things that will really improve the resilience of the Mississippi. So some of these things lead to that because we need to become good stewards.
Yes, and this is, you know, like you said, we can all be collaborators, and this is a very easy way to do that, to ease your way into conservation, so to speak. So rain barrels, that's our focus today. So how can a rain barrel make a difference? Kind of break it down for us.
You're going to be saving 60 gallons every time there's a half-inch rain. So that's one way, which is nice to conserve water and you know, save it yourself. But it also keeps it from getting into the storm sewers, keeps it from getting into streams that are going to have rising floodwaters and all of the stormwater issues this addresses. So that and the fact that you're keeping any residue or anything that might have come off the roof from getting into the storm sewer and into the river also.
Okay, so yeah, give us, I guess, a little example of how a homeowner, for example, would put a rain barrel to use. So you pick one of these up, like our friend Jake did just yesterday. And how does everything work? You attach like a hose to the bottom here with the spigot?
This is a spigot that your hose fits onto. You could put it all the way down here if you would put it on a deck or even raise it up on some bricks or whatever and then drain it all the way down. It's just gravity that's going to provide that pressure, but there's plenty of it. You can put a hose on that. You can do on the side here where we have other spigots that you are going to use for overflow. Then they can have a soaker hose, which can take it to a little garden that doesn't get that much rain right under the roof or something.
Yeah, that's perfect. You can utilize all that water.
You're not going to have a muddy mess right here when it actually is full.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. So let's talk a little bit about some of the hard parts. So utilizing rain barrels, there can be, you know, just a few things to get used to. And one of them is draining them between storm events and making sure you're keeping up with that.
That's right. I always say that is the hardest part because right after you've had a rain, you're not thinking about watering.
Right.
And so, but you want to be ready for the next rain.
Yeah.
As you say, we've got a period now where we have them all the time. So you can drain that again using the soaker hose and getting things to areas that are a little more dry.
That need it.
And, or just store it in containers and be ready for the next rain.
Okay.
The other thing about the aspect of it being such a heavy rain, let's say, and it fills up quickly, and this can be closed up on your downspout, and then your downspout works like it always did.
Okay.
This is when you're wanting to receive the water
I see.
into the barrel.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty easy and perfect. So is this just for like homeowners or residential areas, or can it be used?
No, I mean businesses can have them, organizations and schools. We just love taking them to a school.
Yeah,
this is
it's
one
a teaching
way,
moment.
This is one way that kids can see too how you can do a best practice and improve the environment at the same time.
Yeah, it gets them involved and excited about it, and maybe inspired at an early age. One thing I think is really cool that I want to point out on the rain barrel is this mesh that's right here. So we hear this all the time. You know, if you have standing water over the summer months, we are worried about mosquitoes and mosquito problems, but that's what this is here for.
That's right.
Okay, so this kind of prevents them.
That's right. You can also put a drop of olive oil in it, and that will kind of keep, you know, coat the top, and you won't have the mosquitoes either. But this suffices with.
Yeah, it does the trick, which is good to know, because I think that would just be one, like I'm somebody who gets just eaten by mosquitoes all the time. So that would be one question that I would personally have.
Yeah.
So it's nice that that is there, and you know, you've kind of cut that off before it becomes an issue. Anything else that we should know just about caring for the rain barrels? Like, do they need to be cleaned often or anything like that?
No, well, you might want to do that
like
at the end of the season.
Okay.
What I always think is important is to remember not to have it full of water when it starts to freeze, because the freezing,
it can expand.
you know, expansion and the contraction and all could crack the barrel. If you just turn it over and have it that way for the winter, or put it in the garage, have it. You can rinse it out, yes. But
perfect. So kind of an annual thing. And for anybody that's interested after watching this segment and wants to purchase a rain barrel, what can they expect cost-wise for that?
Yeah, when our barrels come complete with everything in all these parts, they're $110 for a smaller diverter than this, a little more like the 3-inch.
Okay.
And then this is the large one. Most homes today have the larger.
So it's just $5 more for the large one. And we have the QR code on the screen for folks that are watching. They can just scan it and pick up their rain barrel. And what I think is so great about it too is, like, you're not running a hose necessarily as much as you normally would be during those summer months when you're utilizing you know, the water from your rain barrel. It is a cost-saving measure at the end of the day.
It is that. Yes, it is.
Very much
Besides all the things you're doing for the environment, you're saving money.
You are saving money, which is, we all love to hear that, don't we?
That's right.
River Action is located on East River Drive in Davenport. We have the address and the phone number on your screen if you want to give them a call. For more information, just visit riveraction.org. Kathy, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You.
Yes, we appreciate it. Still to come on Quad Cities Live, details on some fun upcoming workshops with Quartz Botanicals, plus a preview of a plant auction benefiting Family Resources.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Quartz Botanicals, located in East Moline, is partnering with Family Resources next month for a not-so-silent plant auction.
Yes, that's right. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and proceeds will benefit sexual assault victims. Here with details on that and so much more, some other exciting events, is owner Austin Harned. Austin, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
We are so happy to have you. So first, tell everybody, I think this is your third time on the show. We talked about it when you got here. We love having you.
Thank you.
Tell everybody about Quartz Botanicals and really what you specialize in. You're in the East Moline area.
We're in East Moline. We recently moved shops from our downtown location down. We're in the building just west of the Rust Belt.
Perfect.
Good location.
It's even covered in rusty metal panels to make it easy.
Yeah.
Our old shop is now our grow space, so we're able to grow a lot of cool plants there and then get them down to the new shop. This month we've got a lot of cool workshops coming up. We have, I think, 6 coming up now. Different terrarium workshops, build your own cactus garden workshop.
Right, and that's what we're going to talk about here today, is these workshops. So you have a really great space. I think anytime you do an event or some type of promotion, I see a line out the door around the building. I mean, people cannot get enough of the plants that they can purchase at Quartz Botanicals, but also the beautiful gifts and jewelry that you have there. So it is a really great spot. And now you have these workshops. And those fill up really fast as well. I went on a line today just to see, and a couple of them are full.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can't sign up anymore. But build your own terrarium. Terrariums are super popular right now.
They're the in thing.
Right now
They're the
in
thing, and folks are really excited about this.
No.
So there's the info, and those are the dates on your screen, the 8th, the 13th, and the 27th. They're in the evenings. So talk about what a terrarium is and what people can expect at these workshops.
So these are closed glass terrariums, so they have a top, they have a lid, you keep it closed. It keeps it really humid, moist, kind of like a tropical, basically a floor of a jungle.
Sure.
That's where these plants are endemic to. So it allows you to grow unique plants that would struggle outside of a terrarium or would require a lot of assistance otherwise. Makes it really easy, rewarding, and it's just like a little miniature ecosystem in there.
That's cool. I've never heard it explained like that, actually.
And he was explaining it before that, because I was asking him, like, do we need to be watering this every so often?
Right.
You said once every other month, if you do it
wow.
correctly, because, again, you kind of trap the environment in there with the lid.
We've got like a false bottom with gravel, pebbles, and then between that there's charcoal, then your soil substrate layer, and when the water flows through that, it purifies it with the charcoal, and it retains it in the pebbles, and over time it'll sort of recirculate it over and recycle the water. Usually every other month you water them.
Sure.
Not a lot of water either.
What I love when Austin comes here is like he's also such a scientist.
Yes, he knows the science behind it.
You know the science. Yes, you know the science behind it,
I'm on board with that.
and
That's the fun part
yes,
too.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And he grows plants with that in mind too.
Yeah.
Like it's enjoyable to hear from you when you talk about plants and flowers. So we're gonna make a little one right now.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little demonstrate. I've already got the layers already done, so won't take as much time. But this is a Fittonia here. A lot of people call it a nerve plant.
It's so cute.
It has little pink lines that look like nerves.
Pretty, yeah.
So we're gonna pop it out of the pot here. I'm gonna make this sort of our focal piece because it's more of a taller one.
Okay.
And I've already got the holes dug out in the terrarium, so I just plopped him in there.
Okay.
I do have an incline in the terrarium too.
I see that,
because that kind of gives it more visual appeal, more aesthetic.
That's good to know. And this is the type of things that you're going to learn at this workshop. Like, I wouldn't have known that. Like, the incline, and it's going to look more beautiful that way.
Maybe under this one, I might put like a lava rock to kind of imitate like a cliff environment or something like that, you know.
So when people sign up for these classes, this is a $40 version, that's smaller terrarium, but you also have the big $60 version that you can do as well.
The $60 one, it comes with 6 plants, whereas this one comes with 4. That one will be able to grow a lot bigger, sort of just different environment.
And here are the plants that are the options that you can choose from for your terrarium.
They're all so pretty, and then you put the lava rock in there, but you have actually all kinds of options for what people can
We
put
have
in
tons
there.
of little different resin figurines, like little cows,
They're so cute.
turtles, rabbits, ducks,
love it.
all sorts
My
of
daughter
things.
collects those. Yeah, she likes to play with them in the bath.
Yes, a good
Sometimes
choice.
it seems
I
like
get
that's
that.
the part most everyone's excited about because
That's
it's fun.
It absolutely is.
So we also have a cactus and succulent class coming up as well.
I love
and
that.
I mean, just looking at these cacti, I mean, they're very attractive plants. They really catch your eye.
Yeah, we try and select a unique, exotic variety that you aren't going to really find elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're really cool ones.
And you want to be sure to sign up quick because these classes fill up fast, kind of as Morgan
April
was mentioning.
6th is full.
Yeah,
from
so
what
you
I
got to
saw.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So you see these dates, you want to get the 15th. Get it now.
And the class sizes are good. I think I read that on that it's 16.
16. We're doing like 20 to 22, but I think 16 is more appropriate and allows me to give them more individualized attention and ensure they walk home with something really cool, you know?
Yeah, so cacti, succulents, I mean, that's really cool. That's like, and this is an example.
This is an example of what they'd walk away with from the Cactus Garden Workshop. They get to pick 4 different cacti and succulents.
That is so worth it.
It comes with a little soapstone carving that they get to decorate, and they can throw rocks in there, all sorts of stuff.
Well, you know what I think is really cool about it too is that we've got so many things coming up. Like we have like a Mother's Day coming up. We have different things. It's just Easter. Like if you're a guest somewhere for Easter, like what a cool thing to create and then maybe even give to somebody as a gift. And it's not just something that you went and bought. Although you could buy anything at Quartz Botanicals and they would be really pleased with it. But you made it, and I always think of that too. It's like a little bit more from the heart that way.
I always say handmade gifts are the best, regardless of what it is, and if it's a cool handmade gift, you know,
better. It's something different as well, which, you know, I think we can all get on board with.
Something you can enjoy for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we mentioned, you're hosting a plant auction coming up, and it's really benefiting Family Resources, very important cause here in our community.
They do a lot for the community. They're a nonprofit. we're going to do 2 rounds of silent plant auctions where people can bid in-store or on our website.
Okay.
I'm going to supply some really cool plants for these. Some are going to come straight out of my personal collection.
Oh.
I've been collecting plants for many years and importing from all over the world, growing some really cool stuff. So stay tuned for some cool plants.
Yes, I would love to participate just to see what Austin like has in his collection of plants.
And it's a win-win because people walk away with cool plants, and 100% of the proceeds go back to family resources.
That's awesome.
Wow, that is
And
great.
they'll use that money directly to benefit victims, awareness, and prevention.
Yes. Oh, wow. Something to definitely keep in mind and keep an eye on the website for that.
Yes.
As Austin mentioned earlier, Quartz Botanicals is located on 12th Avenue in East Moline. We have the address on the screen for you. The website that you're going to want to be checking, especially throughout April, is quartzbotanicals.com. And of course, you can always follow along on Facebook, especially when it comes to updates about those workshops that Austin puts on really from month to month. Thank you so much
Austin,
for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we really appreciate it. Coming up on QCL, we are headed back out to the Green Thumbers for a live behind-the-scenes look at everything this Davenport Garden Center has to offer.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Trees can add so much to a landscape and can really boost your curb appeal. Our Jake Eastburn is now joining us live from the Green Thumbers right now in Davenport with expert advice on tree selection and planting. Hey, Jake.
Hi, Maureen. Yes, the experts are in the house when it comes to trees at the Green Thumbers. And guys, if you stop by here, the weather's great and we're having great weather ahead too. Plenty to shop, plenty to see, and things are just going to keep getting green as we go along the spring season. Josh Burkhalter is joining me. He's the general manager, and he personally selects these trees that you can purchase here. And you have, like you said, over 80 varieties.
That's just conifers. I mean, if all in all, we're probably pushing 200 varieties of shade trees and deciduous trees, conifers, flowering, and whatnot. Yes.
So lots of evergreens. Those are, ever popular for people in their yards because they give the color year-round. And you wanted to mention, we're starting off with blue spruces. There's some fungus that we need to look out for.
Absolutely. So you need to be really careful when picking a blue spruce. Still one of the most popular spruce trees on the market. Here we have a Bazan blue. So we're real particular about where we get our spruce from. These are not your straight Colorado blue spruce. They are actually grafted to a white spruce rootstock, which makes them resistant to needlecast fungus. About 8-9 years ago, needlecast fungus started wiping through our area, killing blue spruce, and you see a bunch of them on the roadsides that are just kind of falling apart. These are going to be resistant to that, and every variety I have here is all grown on that white spruce stock, so you're safe to go ahead and plant.
Got it. When is the best time to plant a tree?
Well, we always say yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
The best time to plant, anytime you can get a shovel in the ground. We plant trees here at the Green Thumbers every single day except Sunday. And the sooner you can get it in the spring, you're going to cut back on your maintenance, as much watering as you're going to have to do. But yeah, any time right now is a fantastic time to plant.
And you guys have more like designer trees here that are very popular.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite weeping conifers. This is a weeping white spruce. She's going to get about 18 to 20 tall, but only about 3 foot wide.
Okay, so not too tall, but and you said we're going to get to some other dwarf selections that you have a little later on. How popular would you say these are?
This is the #1 weeping spruce on the market, the highest demand anyway. Because it stays real tight in shape, stays well put, very much a focal point in the landscape.
Got it. And then, okay, so talk about the hand selection that you do on these trees.
So we at the Green Thumbers, we're true plant nuts. I mean, we're plant geeks, if you will. We go out and we look for the perfect specimens. We look for the most unique, most character in some of your conifers. We just want what's best for our customer, and we want to make ourselves stand apart a little bit from typical nurseries.
And you sure travel for that.
Yes, we do. We spend a lot of time on the road. We spend a lot of time out in the West Coast in Oregon. Most of our stock comes probably out of Ohio, but we really have relationships with very reputable nurseries, so we're making sure that we offer the best product we can.
With the evergreens, are they pretty easy as far as care goes? Starting off, is there anything extra or special you need to do with them?
No, as long as you plant it correctly, using a good compost, because our soil in the Quad Cities is pure clay, unless you live on the river. So mixing a good compost, about third compost to 2/3 of the soil you dug out of the hole, making sure you don't plant that tree any deeper than the top of that root ball or the soil in the container. and then just regular watering, which we make sure to send that out with your receipt so you know how and when to water and the importance of that.
Okay, and then we're going to look here at some of the dwarf selections that you have, and these are growing in popularity, and you said that because not all of us have huge yards to put trees in.
Absolutely. So typical city yards, you know, you can't necessarily plant a blue spruce without covering your entire property or your house even. So you get a lot of ornamental conifers that are going to be more in that 12 to 18 foot range, but maybe only 6, 8 feet wide. This here, a Bosnian pine. I mean, you're going to still see 20 foot tall, but you're only talking 6 to 8 feet wide, so it's not going to take over the house. So we kind of want to put it in the right scale of things.
And then you mentioned too that this one, is, for size, it's been...
Yeah, so here we have a Colunder Norway spruce. You're only going to be 20 foot tall, but 6 feet wide. So really it fits any application, no matter how big the yard is, whether it's a focal point or if it's all you can fit in the front yard to have a nice evergreen or that perfect Christmas tree.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for sharing some of your expertise with us. Plenty of more expertise when it comes to all things plants here and trees at the Green Thumbers. We invite you out. They're on Brady Street in Davenport. You can also visit them online at greenthumbers.com. For now, I'm Jake Eastburn reporting live in Davenport for Quad Cities Live.
Great, nice having Jake out there today. Jake, thank you. Up next on QCL, keep the kids busy all summer long with a variety of camp options with Eastern Iowa Community Colleges. We'll take a closer look after the break. Tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, spring has sprung at Isabel Bloom. We'll take a closer look at the new seasonal items available in store and get a preview of a special Mother's Day workshop.
And the 2025 Hobnosh is set for next week. We'll learn more about the QC Chamber event offering sips, samples, and live entertainment. That and much more tomorrow at 3 right here on QCL.
While we might typically picture adults attending Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, the summer months offer opportunities for kids to learn and grow with a variety of camp options.
Yeah, and it's all fun as well. Joining us now in the QCL kitchen is Diane Stanley from Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, along with EICC culinary instructor Amanda Phipps. Diane and Amanda, thank you both for coming on the show today.
Great to be here.
Yes, of course. So, Diane, you have a lot of fun things offered to students throughout the summer at EICC.
We do. Some great camps. We have about 7 options.
Really?
From cake decorating, cupcakes, pies, cookies, mac and cheese. So if you're wanting your child to get a little bit more comfortable in the kitchen, this would be a great opportunity.
Whether it's sweets or savory, you got it covered.
Well, yeah, and then we've got the QR code on the screen right now because I know that there's like parents out there that are going, "What camp? Like, let me get this kid signed up immediately." So even beyond like the culinary aspect of it, you have coding, designing, crafting, and ages 6 to 15.
So our camp, the culinary camp, is from 9 to 15.
Oh, okay.
9 to 15. That's actually good information to have.
A little bit older.
That is good information to have. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. My daughter is 6.
Yes.
Do you want her in the kitchen?
I don't think. She likes to crack the eggs, and let's just say it doesn't go.
Yeah,
it doesn't go great.
Is fun, but
doesn't go great. So yeah, Amanda, today you're kind of giving us a little bit of a sneak peek at really something that the kids might learn. Yeah. One of the cooking camp activities. So what do you have planned for us here today?
Well, I brought today our galets, or a French rustic tart. It's a very simple recipe. It's easy enough for a beginner and elegant enough for those who are more advanced. So we kind of hopefully fit everybody.
Okay.
If I can go ahead and start.
We would love that. Yeah.
I've got the flour here, butter and salt, and a little bit of water, and that will bring together our crust. And that's as simple as it gets, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, but it comes into 2 different recipes where we have essentially our sweet and our savory, or our dinner and dessert.
So there you go.
In will go our butter with our flour.
And so this would be exactly what the kids are doing.
Exactly what they'll be doing.
Their own.
I'm going to add the salt in to give it a little bit of flavor.
Okay.
Mix it around, and we're not using any complex kitchen tools or anything that isn't available at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when you're doing this, are you taking the kids step by step?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We go step by step. We have recipes that I wrote, and we'll go home with the kids so they can make it again, hopefully.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah. Diane, while we're doing that, talk a little bit about really the focus on keeping all of these camps very engaging and hands-on, and how that can kind of be even more beneficial for learning.
Absolutely. You know, we find that students are they're hands-on. They want to get their hands dirty.
Yes.
They want to try. They want to taste. And maybe it's something they've never tried before. And so it's really a great experience for for students, campers, to come and try something new and to be comfortable doing it.
Well, and I think too, Amanda, like maybe kids who are super picky, this would be like a really good thing for them to do.
Yes.
Because for some reason, I feel like when you're getting your hands dirty and you're cooking it yourself, you're more apt to try it because you've seen the entire process from start to finish.
And we use all recognizable ingredients. These are things that we're already eating at home, and we're just kind of presenting them in a new and different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're making that tart crust right there.
Yes.
So then the topping, or I guess, would you say the filling for it?
The filling,
You got the fruit, so you're saying the stuff that we recognize at home, strawberries, blueberries, those aren't scary at all. So that's what we'll put inside of it.
Not scary
Not
at all.
intimidating, right?
And you can see how quickly it's come together.
Yeah.
I've already got pretty much a dough here. I went ahead and I rolled one out for us so that we can do our filling.
Sure.
Yeah,
Again, simple ingredients here. I've got my berries, just some mixed berries, a little bit of sugar, just a little bit, not too much, that we take the health out of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've got a squeeze of lemon juice.
Fresh lemon juice.
And it smells so good in here now. A little bit of cornstarch to give it some thickening power. A little bit of vanilla. And that's it.
There you go. So then you just mix that all together.
I'm just going to mix that up.
You know, we're talking about Eastern Iowa Community Colleges. April is actually National Community College Month. So why is it important to recognize this? I am a community college student myself. I went to both EICC as well as Blackhawk. These are very cost effective, and you're not cutting the whole education part out of it, because you're getting the hands-on education that you get at a four-year institution as well.
Absolutely. And April is a great time to, like, you've never been to the community college, this is a perfect time to visit, sit in on a class. We will have a lunch and learn in April on how to get your vegetables into your meal.
Oh,
there you go.
And how to hide them.
We need that. Okay, that's perfect for mom over here. Yeah.
Trying to sneak those in.
Yeah.
We have a guest speaker that will talk about how she includes vegetables into everyday meal.
Okay.
And then the lunch will be with hidden vegetables.
Wonderful.
And these are free?
And these are free to the public.
Perfect.
You have to register.
Okay.
And we'll show everyone how to do that too.
Space is limited for the lunch. There's also a scones class. There's going to be a pie class. So if you've never been to the campus, please come out. We'd love to see you and enjoy a treat while you're here.
All right, well, if you want more info on the summer camps, you can visit the website on your screen, eicc.edu/summercamps. And if you want to learn more about the Community College Month events and free classes, you can visit eicc.edu/cc-month.
Yes.
Lots of letters there. We'll put them on our website. Just go to the Quad Cities Live tab.
And we get to try
what
you
they've
got
cooked
the savory
as well.
We have about 10 seconds left, but cheers.
Cheers, yeah.
All right.
Cheers to the food.
Thank you so much for watching. Your News at 4 is coming up next.
Thank you. Very good.